The Watchman Gloves, known as 3R, are the most iconic and formidable of the Watchman series instruments in Gachiakuta, wielded by Rudo, and before him Canis. These gloves grant the power to animate discarded objects and transform them into temporary vital instruments. The name 3R comes from reduce, reuse, recycle, symbolizing their bond with trash and discarded things. What makes the Watchman Gloves the strongest is their unmatched versatility. At any moment, Rudo can touch up to 3 pieces of trash and breathe life into them, turning broken metal, wood, or debris into powerful weapons or tools. If Rudo chooses, he can focus the entire power of the gloves into just one object, creating a vital instrument of overwhelming force. This ability to shift between quantity and quality makes the gloves an unparalleled weapon on the battlefield. The gloves' strength isn't just physical, they're a reflection of Rudo's heart. His deep connection to discarded things, born from growing up in the slums and surviving among trash, means the gloves respond to him as if they share his pain and resolve. The objects he animates aren't just tools, they become part of his mission to protect and redeem. In battle, the gloves turn creativity into a weapon. A rusty pipe becomes a spear. A chunk of metal transforms into a shield. A shattered blade reforges as something deadlier than before. And because the gloves draw power from trash, their fuel is everywhere. Every battlefield, every ruined street provides endless possibilities. Simply put, the Watchman Gloves stand at the top because they combine raw power, adaptability, emotional resonance, and infinite potential, making them the undisputed strongest instrument in the Watchman series. Also, if you're enjoying this deep dive into Gachiakuta's deadliest instruments, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Because the next instrument is about to change everything you thought you knew about battle. The Watchman Book stands as the second strongest instrument in the entire Watchman series, not because it crushes enemies with brute force, but because it can control reality as perceived by the mind. Originally wielded by Recto, this instrument is tied to the sense of sight, but far beyond mere vision. It governs memory, perception, and what the mind chooses to see or believe. On the surface, the book looks unassuming, an old worn tome filled with strange diagrams and cryptic writing. But this object holds one of the most devastating powers imaginable. With a glance at its marked pages or a touch, the book can manipulate what a person sees or remembers. Enemies might forget their own names, fail to recognize friends, or hallucinate foes where there are none. In an instant, the user can turn a confident warrior into a confused, broken shell. The book's true horror lies in its subtlety. While other Watchman instruments strike the body, the book strikes the very core of identity. A single false memory can shatter alliances, incite chaos, or reduce a skilled fighter to hesitation and fear. Beyond individual battles, the book could, in theory, alter collective memory, rewriting the history of entire communities or erasing truths that hold societies together. Why is it the second strongest? Because no other Watchman instrument comes so close to total control without lifting a finger. Yet it ranks just below the gloves because it requires setup, proximity, timing, and often eye contact or distraction. Its power is overwhelming, but not as instantly adaptable or direct as the gloves' raw might. Still, in the right hands, the Watchman Book is a weapon of unseen destruction, making it a nightmare for any opponent. The Watchman Coat claims its place as the third strongest instrument in the Watchman series. Wielded by Zodal Typhon, also known as Mishra, this instrument is tied to the sense of taste. But don't let that connection fool you. The power of the coat is monstrous, turning the wearer's body into a living, shifting weapon. At its core, the Watchman Coat allows the user to transform their body based on what they ingest. Eat a piece of metal and you might sprout armored skin or razor-sharp spike. Consume something light or symbolic of flight and wings could tear from your back, allowing you to soar. In battle, this means Mishra becomes a shapeshifter, adapting in real time to threats and situations. What makes the coat the third strongest is this terrifying flexibility. The wearer can switch between offense, defense, and evasion at will, growing deadly appendages or hardening their body to shrug off attacks. Against multiple enemies or unpredictable situations, the coat turns its user into a walking nightmare. However, it falls short of the top 2 for important reasons. Unlike the Watchman Gloves or book, the coat requires preparation. The transformations depend on what the user consumes, and in the heat of battle, finding the right material at the right moment can be a deadly gamble. There's also a limit to how much and how fast the body can endure these changes, and the power hinges heavily on the user's creativity and tolerance. Even so, the Watchman Coat is a force to be feared. When in the hands of a master like Mishra, it ensures no two fights are ever the same, and no enemy can predict what monstrous form the user will take next. The Watchman boots rank as the fourth strongest instrument in the Watchman series. Wielded by Amo and Pool, these boots channel the power of smell, transforming scent into a psychological weapon. While they lack the raw destructive force of the top three instruments, their strength lies in subtlety, turning the battlefield into a place of confusion and emotional manipulation. And the boots grant their wearer the ability to emit targeted scent-based illusions. These illusions work by triggering deep-seated memories, emotions, or fears tied to specific smelling. A foe might catch the scent of a long-lost loved one, a bitter rival, or a defining moment from their past. The result, their senses betray them, and they might hesitate, misjudge, or even break down in the middle of combat. Why are they the fourth strongest? The Watchman boots excel at creating openings in chaos. In the right scenario, they can disarm even powerful enemies without a single physical blow. However, the boots' power is indirect. Unlike the gloves, book, or coat, they can't attack, defend, or reshape the body. Their effectiveness depends on the target's emotional ties or mental vulnerabilities. A foe with no connection to the sense projected, or someone with iron mental discipline, might resist or ignore the illusions altogether. That said, in skilled hands, the boots are a nightmare for unprepared enemies. They shine in ambushes, assassinations, and group battles where confusion can tip the scale. Amo and Pool uses them to disrupt and destabilize, turning combat into a mental game where victory comes from the mind breaking before the body does. The Watchman boots are proof that sometimes the most dangerous weapon is the one that makes an enemy doubt what's real. And finally, we come to the last on our list, a piece that might not strike fear at first glance, but holds the key to turning strategy into victory. The Watchman Choker is the fifth strongest instrument in the Watchman series, not because it lacks value, but because its power serves a different, more supportive role compared to its deadly counterpart. This instrument is tied to the sense of hearing and was originally crafted by the enigmatic choker maker. It's most closely associated with Gauntes, who uses it to maintain control and communication within the ranks of the giver. Unlike the gloves, book, coat, or boots, the choker doesn't directly harm enemies or protect its user. Instead, it provides a powerful tactical advantage, flawless, blood-powered communication. The choker enables instant silent dialogue between users across vast distances and through obstacles. In high-stakes battles or covert missions, this communication network can mean the difference between a coordinated strike and total failure. Its strength lies in enabling strategy. When worn, the choker allows the wearer to hear instructions, warnings, or updates that no outsider can intercept. In a chaotic fight where seconds matter, this tool ensures the team acts as a single synchronized force. It's also believed the choker can be tuned to pick up sounds others miss, potentially aiding in eavesdropping or detecting hidden dangers. So why is it ranked fifth? Because in terms of direct combat impact, the choker offers no offense or defense on its own. It doesn't wound, deceive, or shield. Its power is indirect. It enhances planning, coordination, and control, rather than delivering immediate damage. Against a lone opponent in a duel, the choker provides no advantage beyond communication. Still, underestimating the Watchman Choker would be a mistake. In the world of Gachiakuta, where survival often depends on unity and perfect timing, the choker is the invisible thread that holds teams together, and making it a god tier instrument even if it's not the most fearsome in battle. That's every god tier Watchman instrument ranked. Which one would you fear most in battle? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more Gachiakuta lore. Thanks for watching, and remember, even trash can become a weapon in the right hand.